Am I the a-hole for leaving my husband and stepdaughter? My husband, male 31, is the worst at gift giving. We have been together over 3 years, and after the first year of not receiving anything for my birthday, anniversary, Christmas, Valentine's, Mother's Day was the last straw after being told I wasn't his mother. I decided to start matching energy. Father's Day came and I was gone all day when normally I would have put together a big lunch or dinner and drive 30 to 45 minutes to get his daughter, a now 16-year-old, so they could spend the day together. He called me in the afternoon, and I was polite but not initiating conversation. He asked me when I was picking up his daughter, and I replied I had plans and was not aware that I was supposed to pick her up, since nothing was communicated to me. When he responded with "It's Father's Day," I used his response back, "You are not my father." I had anticipated him getting upset and knew a constructive conversation would not be had, so when he started to raise his voice, I told him check the table and hung up. I had left a letter to him communicating how much I was hurt about going out of my way for him, and to not have any sort of reciprocation. He called me later and said he would try to be better and work on it. I ended up going to get his daughter during the week, so they could enjoy a dinner together. Background info: he drives big rig trucks, so the vehicle we use for everyday travel is mine. He's been better about the gifts. It's more of go pick something out and I will pay for it, which I really don't mind. He does the same thing with his daughter. I do all the shopping for his family gifts when it comes to birthdays and holidays. I rarely splurge on myself when it comes to purses and clothes. I have a preteen son from my first marriage, so I tend to be more practical on myself and spend on him for his birthday and Christmas. My stepdaughter, however, is very materialistic and always is asking for money or something expensive. And between her father and his family, and her mother and her family and her stepfather, she always gets it. I had been repeatedly saying aloud that I needed a new purse since mine was hanging on by a thread, and had decided to invest in a good designer handbag. I started saving money and looking online for my new dream purse. So, imagine my surprise and excitement when we get to the department store, and I see they have my dream purse in stock. My husband gave a look when he saw the price, and I told him I could contribute and explained how I had been saving, so I could save enough to get this purse that I had been dreaming about for months. He shook his head and said I deserved it and he would get it for me, but also gave me the expectation that since he was getting me this, he really couldn't afford to get me anything else. I screamed with delight and told him that was okay, I did not need anything else. With that taken care of, my husband asked me if it was okay to get his daughter and take her Christmas shopping. I had tons to do at home in preparation for the holiday, so this worked out, so I could have the house empty to get what I needed done. I was reaching to get my new purse when we arrived home, and he said for me to leave it because he had another gift he had previously purchased for me that he was going to put inside the purse for me to open on Christmas. I was on cloud 9, so I kissed him, left my bag, and went inside. I was still busy cleaning and decorating when he got home later that night, and the rest of the days before Christmas were all a blur with me trying to get my house ready for the holiday. I hosted Christmas Eve at my house with my family and Christmas Day. I slept in tired from the night before and woke up with enough time to brush my teeth before we headed out to go get his daughter, then drive to spend the day at his mother's house. I fell asleep on the drive and woke up after his daughter was picked up, and we were already en route to his mom's. I turned around to greet his daughter, and that's when I saw her rummaging and holding my new purse. "Where did you get that purse?" I asked her, and the car fell completely silent. I looked at my husband, and he stayed silent with both hands on the wheel, looking straight ahead. I asked her again, this time in a louder, sterner tone. She looked down and quietly mumbled, "My dad gave it to me." "You, what?" I screamed. "How would you think it was okay to give her my new purse?" He told me to calm down, and I cut him off and screamed, "No," and then turned back to his daughter and told her that her father had no right to give her my purse, and that she needed to give it back, to which she refused. I could feel my anger raging, then subsiding to a feeling of sadness and complete defeat. I put my coat over my head and leaned against the window, trying to cover my face and mouth as tears started running down my cheeks. My husband pulled over at the next gas station, and his daughter bolted out, taking the purse with her. He tried to comfort me, to which I slapped his hand away and told him not to touch me and gave him a look of disgust. He informed me that after he dropped me off that day, he picked up his daughter, took her shopping, and, on the way, taking her home, she noticed the bag and saw the purse. She begged and pleaded with him to please let her have it. She reminded him about all the times he never got her a gift, and how giving her this purse would make up for it, and that played on his heart. And he finally caved and gave her my purse. He tried to say he was going to make it up to me, and I asked him how, knowing it was impossible. He already spent his money and made it clear that he wasn't going to have money to buy me anything else. I couldn't help but get upset as I tried to get him to understand how hurt I felt and how it's not like she was suffering with her getting to open presents from her mother and stepfather plus gifts from their family, along with the gifts she was going to get from his family, and that he already spent money on her for her Christmas presents, and that was my one gift. I know Christmas is not about getting presents, but I was extremely upset that my husband could be so thoughtless and not consider the amount of pain this was going to cause me. His phone rang, and it was his daughter calling from inside, asking him to come inside because she needed money to buy something. As he was walking into the store, I looked back, and tears began to fill my eyes as I saw all the gifts I picked out for his family with care. Something came over me and I stopped crying and got out and got in the driver's seat and wiped my face and peeled out of the gas station parking lot, leaving my husband and stepdaughter behind. I turned my phone off and drove back to town and spent the day with my family at my cousin's house and stayed with them, not returning any of my husband's phone calls and not returning home until late following day. The only phone call I did return was the one from my stepdaughter's mother to set her straight after she left me a hateful message about leaving her daughter stranded because I was jealous her father bought her a new purse. I told her she had been told a lie and informed her of the truth. That in fact, her father did not buy her a new purse, he bought me a new purse, and she played on her father's emotions after he had already bought her expensive items from her Christmas list to guilt him to giving her my purse. She apologized and tried to produce a solution, to which I replied for her not to bother. The damage has been done. I found out through my sister-in-law that my husband's brother went to get them, and the story came out later that evening. His mother is on his side while his brother and sister-in-law and other aunts and uncles sided with me and got onto his daughter. I have not spoken to his daughter since Christmas and things are unsettling at home. I have become more distant from my husband, and when I make dinner, I do not serve him a plate. I serve only my son and myself. And I only engage in conversation with my son. He has tried to reach for me at night when we are in bed, and I always end up crying. I am not angry or mad, I just feel nothingness. He is back on the road and I do miss him, but I can't shake the feeling of how he let me down. And I cannot hide my looks of disappointment. Looking to see what others have to say about the situation. Like and follow for more Reddit videos.